Driven. Alex Carioti, IWKBF MMA champ, kickboxing champ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, fencing state rep, now pro boxer.
National rep.
National rep. Sorry, national rep.
Years.
How did we get here?
Well, yeah, pro boxing was always the dream. It's my first martial art I ever loved. I started, luckily my mum started me when I was really little, 5 in martial arts. But boxing was always the one that had the most allure. Something about the romanticism and prestige of pro boxing. I always knew I'd end up here. Maybe later than I expected, but this is a big one for the bucket list.
You took some time off striking competitively. You're on the brink. Pretty much, like I said, MMA champ, kickboxing champ. You're on the brink of turning pro in any of the 3 disciplines. Why did you take some time off, and how have you built yourself back up?
Well, my first pro fight was when I was 23, was when I booked my first pro fight. So for 10 years, it didn't happen. I seem to be one of those people, every time I booked a pro fight, it just didn't go through. I've tried in MMA, I tried in kickboxing, I wanted to go pro in boxing, it just never happened. For one reason or another. I had to stop striking because the damage on my neck after jiu-jitsu was too much. So every time I get hit with even a light shot, my headaches would just be so bad. So I had to choose one or the other. Getting my black belt at that age was the priority. I really wanted to go to Worlds, obviously, but now that's done, it's all settled. It's pure boxing, and I'm not having those issues now, which is good.
What's been your camp routine? I've seen you've been getting some rounds in at Central Coast with Ross. What have you guys been doing that's been helping you in this preparation?
So the base of all my training will always be my coach Eddie at North Sydney. He's been directing me what he wants me to do and how he wants me to train. I try to see him as often as possible. Ross brings in the hard work, he brings in the bodies, he brings in the mindset, he brings in that great fight attitude that gets me in such a good mental place to fight. And besides that, he puts his gear on and he does round after round after round with me. It's like the guy never gets tired. So in terms of prep, it's just been a volume approach because of the time off, a lot of boxing. But when I go down to Central Coast, it's just about putting in the work there, putting in the rounds to feel like whatever my opponent's going to do is going to be easier than what Ross tries to do to me.
Describe your style. I always like to think like a high-level athlete, their style is actually their personality.
My style is actually the same in every discipline. Just from fencing to jiu-jitsu, all my style's always been the same. I'm always a trick and trap guy. So I'm always setting traps, I'm always playing tricks. That's my whole style. I always aim to outsmart. I've never been particularly physically gifted. I don't have insane speed or power. I've got good enough, but nothing that incredible. I have an average athleticism with a clever mind. And I guess that's why I've always lent to coaching. But my aim is always to outsmart and out-strategize every fight.
With that, you're the owner, head coach of Carioti MMA and Legacy Hornsby. How have you been mixing your coaching, training, and being a dad?
Very difficult, very difficult. It's been a lot of work. Thank God my team pulls in for me when I need a class covered, when I need pads held. Like, they've gone above and beyond. My wife lets me out all hours of the night to go for runs. Every Saturday, Sunday, she lets me come to the gym and train. So everyone basically just bands together to make sure I can do what I need to do. And that's a very, very, very lucky situation.
Would you say that this camp, it's just been getting all the rounds in rather than working on strength, nutrition, or skill acquisition?
Yeah, I actually cut my strength training out altogether. So one of my biggest assets when I was doing jiu-jitsu was my strength training. I really got a lot from it. I really got to give credit to the boys I was working with. With this one, I had to be so boxing centric. I had to form my body back to box again, change my body's shape, change my muscle tone, everything. I completely killed it and went straight back to pure ABCs of boxing. Bag sprints, punching with the weights, neck exercises, ab routines, like your old school boxing, just rebuild the body. The mind's there. I've never left boxing mentally. I'm here every day doing boxing, but I needed to rebuild a body that can fight a pro boxing fight.
What's a legitimate goal for you in pro boxing? You're debuting in probably, I think, Australia's most popular boxer right now, Tim Tszyu, in Newcastle on a main event pay-per-view card.
It's one of those things where my habit is if I win one, I have to go win two. If I win two, I have to go win four. If I can win a state, I have to win a national. It's just my personality. At the moment, I'm very fixated on this first fight for obvious reasons because of the size of it. But it's kind of like once I get momentum, we'll always see where it goes. I always have loose goals, but my strict goal is getting 2-0 as a professional.
So, quick game. We're just going to play the first thing that comes to mind when I say these phrases. Cheat meal.
Pizza.
Pump up song.
Ooh.
You can go old school.
Darude Sandstorm. Yeah, Sandstorm has to be.
Favorite body part now that you've changed up?
Shoulders.
Most recent movie you've watched?
310 to Yuma. Yeah.
Favorite boxer to watch?
At the moment of all time.
At the moment, active.
Duran. Oh no, active. Okay, at the moment I'm watching Errol Spence, but of all time, Duran's right up there for me.
Best advice or motto?
Best advice I've ever got in boxing was not to stand directly in the pocket all the time. I got my name Quick Draw because I try to stand in front, see who fires first. That's why my coach gave me that name. I have a problem where I get a bit too macho and I don't want to leave the pocket. So best advice was don't sit in the pocket the entire fight.
Last one. Israel or Jones?
Israel can beat him, but John Jones is a different beast. Everyone underestimates the guy. He's had a few lackluster performances, but he is a different breed of human being. Still, if I had to edge it, I want to give it to Israel at light heavy, not at anything above that. Otherwise, it's Jones.
Any shout outs? People who have really helped you in this camp so far? Sponsors?
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of people that helped me, like I said, Eddie Calaboti from VT1 is paramount to all my boxing always. Ross and Central Coast MMA need a big shout out coming on board. Powerbox have helped me out with equipment, which has been more than helpful. Sponsors wise, Cremorne Automotive, I've got Edgeworth Partners Accountants, I've got AVA Construction Group, and then to my old team, Gideon Boxing back in Canada has been helping me as well. So they're my shout outs.
That's awesome.
Fight's on March 31st. People are very welcome to come. We've got a big ring here. You can do lots of rounds. We're very open for sparring, really happy to work. So if anyone's keen looking for work at all, they're always welcome here.
Thanks, man. Chat to you later.
Thank you.